So this is the hydrofacial. So hydrofacial was the first microdermabrasion treatment that brought in product infusion at the same time as exfoliating, and it uses a vortex technology that actually pushes a cleansing serum down into the skin, which dislodges any impurities in the pores. It will remove very superficial blackheads, but it's not going to clean out the deeper pores and things. But the product does get pushed in a bit deeper than it would normally if you were just sort of rubbing the serum on. And then you can sort of feel the suction, so everything's getting sort of then pushed in and then sucked back out. And then the tip of it is quite abrasive, so you can feel it sort of almost sloughing off the dead skin on the surface. So it's exfoliating, cleansing and hydrating all in one. And it was the very first technology to do that. The way that I describe it to many of my clients is it's a bit like a carpet shampooer. Yeah. So you've got your shampoo getting pushed in, gets mashed up into the carpet, and then it all gets sucked away, all the grime, the dirt, the pollution, and the dead skin cells. So it's a proper clean for the skin. Whereas traditional microdermabrasion just exfoliated. So that would be a bit like sandpaper or sandblasting of cars, paint off. It sort of removes the very top layer, but it doesn't really do anything inside the pores or deeper down, and it's quite drying. So this is great because it actually leaves the skin in really good condition for me, ready to do the rest of the treatment. Mm-hmm. Because when the skin's hydrated, it responds better to everything. And obviously when we remove some of that dead skin, again, it lets the light treatments penetrate a little bit better as well. As I said, with everything, all of these treatments can be used on different settings. So at the moment, I'm just using a very moderate setting to do your hydrofacial, but it does have settings and the ability on it to go up high enough that you could even induce a little bit of pinpoint bleeding. Oh. Which you would do just on very specific things like a scar or something. So
is there water being pushed through?
Well, this is serum.
Serum.
It's a serum that's got hyaluronic acid in it. It's also got a little bit of fruit acids as well, but just very mild. So this is part of that cleansing, hydrating process. So yeah. I always say it sort of feels a little bit like you're being vigorously licked by a cat. Because again, people are a little bit like, microdermabrasion, is that going to be quite painful? Yeah. It's like, no, it's like a little cat giving you a nice little lick. And you sort of get that little bit of cooling from the serum at the same time as the exfoliation.
That's pleasant.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some collagen stimulation. So I'm going to do 2 different passes of an Nd:YAG laser. Nd:YAG is the deepest penetrating lasers, which means it's really, really good for getting that deeper collagen remodeling. But I'm going to use it on the first setting in a mode called FRAC 3. And FRAC 3, what it means is that when it hits the skin, the Nd:YAG breaks into smaller particles and actually searches out existing damage within the skin, and it almost kind of attacks those damaged cells, damaging them a little bit more, so then your body gets rid of them and replaces them with new healthy ones. Okay. So that kind of works more surface. It's quite good for general redness, it's very good for plumping, it's good for brightening, smoothing the skin a little bit. And then I'm going to do the piano mode, which is our super deep Nd:YAG. So that's the one that kind of goes in and it's going to bulk heat quite deep down into the skin, which is going to trigger all of your new collagen production. Mm-hmm. So hopefully the second one is going to give us just a little bit of that lifting and sort of tightening on a deeper level. So the 2, we're going from the surface and we're going to go deep. So we're going to kind of cover the collagen from both sides.
Fabulous.
Okay, so this is sort of like a little, almost like a sort of slight sparkle sort of sensation. You sort of won't feel it, and then every now and then you might feel a bit more of a sort of a little bit of a flick on the skin, but you're going to get an overall heating as I work the laser over your skin. How's that?
Totally fine.
Yeah. So it's going to be the same, but I say it might get a little bit more as the heat starts to build up, but that's pretty much what you're going to experience with this. So now I'm starting to see your skin going a little bit pink, so I know that the heat's building up quite nicely, so that's a perfect reaction. And that pinkness is literally just due from heat, because now you'll be able to feel the whole skin is feeling much warmer. So this is that micro injury that we talked about beforehand. So I'm using the laser to cause really, really controlled little mini injuries in your skin, and that's going to trigger, each one of those little tiny injury triggers new collagen and elastin to be produced and new skin cells to be produced in that area. And to facilitate all of that happening, your body is now going to be sending lots of nutrients to the area to feed it and nourish it while it's happening. So it's actually going to get a massive boost from your own body from the inside while it's going through this whole process. So once you've had a few of these sessions done, the skin really becomes much, much stronger from the inside out, and that starts to really show sort of in a few months' time.
So it will take up to 2 months to see the difference of the treatment today?
Well, today's treatment, you will see the surface improvements quite quickly, so everyone sort of notices that their skin looks a little bit fresher and brighter. But to see the long-term benefits of the actual new collagen and everything, collagen takes months to develop, so once you've stimulated it. So everyone sort of walks out and they look a bit fresher and they've got more of a glow, and they might look a bit plumped, but even that plumping and the tightening that some people see immediately after a treatment like this will be quite temporary. It probably disappears after about a week, because some of it's due to swelling, because I'm causing all these little tiny injuries. You get a little bit of micro swelling, which kind of looks quite nice. And some of it is due to the existing collagen, which is as collagen starts to age within the skin, it loosens. So it's obviously collagen spiraled, and it sort of its spiral relaxes out, and that's why the skin obviously then starts to become less plump and a little bit the loss of elasticity. The heat can cause those spirals to tighten up again, so you get that instant tightening of the collagen, but that is temporary. It will relax back out over the next week or so.
Right.
Whereas underneath that, we are now stimulating brand new healthy collagen to grow, and as that grows over the next few months, that is going to be really healthy, tight collagen. So the long-term effects of lasers and some of the other sort of heat induction rejuvenation treatments, it does take time to see the real benefits of them. But yeah, there should be some instant gratification for your time today. So how's that felt so far? Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. And this is one of the strongest lasers on the market, an Nd:YAG, it's a really, really, really powerful machine, but used in a very intelligent way. We're going to stimulate all this to happen within the skin without it being too uncomfortable, and also without any real recovery time. The Nd:YAG laser is also really, really good for doing hair removal on darker skins. So the skin type sort of 4, 5, 6. I have some really, really dark skins that I'm doing hair removal on their face, and it's fantastic, really safe. So I also use it for veins. Obviously I might do a couple around your nose shortly, but we can also do leg veins with it. And also in a different setting from the ones I'm going to be using on you today, we can help to reduce down the acne and rosacea as well. Okay, so this is going to feel like quite different actually. It almost feels like you've got hot air blowing on your skin, and again you're going to feel that heat gradually starting to build up, but there shouldn't be so much of the flicking type sort of sensation. This particular wavelength is, I call it my repairing laser, because this is the one that really does help with the healing, overall strengthening of the skin. and for some people they do get quite a nice lift with it, but overall it's really about that strengthening, calming, and overall health boosting. And so far feels okay?
Yeah, it's makes me feel a bit sleepy actually, because it's just warm.
So many people think of lasers as being something that is aggressive, that we're always attacking the skin, and it really isn't. It's about using these different wavelengths and these different lasers to actually support and boost the skin. Now, occasionally, yes, we do have to do something that's a bit more forceful, like when we treat your pigmentation marks, we're going to use something that, you know, the energy goes in a little bit more intensely so that we can create the reaction that will actually lift that pigment up. But for the most part, when it comes to the skin health issues and even things like the sort of the acne and the rosacea and things like that now, you know, we take a much more moderate approach that supports the skin rather than overly aggravates it. So I'm going to pop the red light on for a few minutes while I go down and get the other room ready for the pigmentation. Okay, so this is red light therapy. So this is LED technology. Come on now, red light. Okay, so on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Done. It's supposed to make it better naturally. How does that feel?
Hot and like sharp, but bearable.
So with this one you get that instant pinch, almost like it is an elastic band where it's quite hot and sharp, and then that kind of disappears, but afterwards it does feel a little bit stingy and tingly, would you say?
Yeah.
You feel a little bit of a...
Yeah.
And that lasts for about 10-15 minutes.
It feels like I've been zapped.
And then that will reduce down, but what's going to happen, and I don't know if you can even see it now slightly, that pigmentation spot is already starting to go darker. And that will go even darker over the next few hours, and then it sort of tomorrow, the day after, it goes slightly dry and flaky, and it actually then sort of lifts off and disappears, and then we should have some nice certainly lighter pigment or no pigment underneath once that lifts up.
And how should I look after my skin after the treatment, Debbie?
So always for 48 hours after a treatment, even if your skin feels perfect, there's no reaction, no redness or anything, you're still going to treat it as if you've got sunburn. So in the back of your mind, you're going to be thinking, if I had sunburn, would I go and sit in a sauna? No. Would I scrub my skin? No.
Okay.
Would I spend ages under a really hot shower? No.
Okay.
But gentle, normal cleansing, normal moisturising, makeup, None of those things are a problem. It's just nothing that's aggressive or overly stimulating.
Okay.
And if there are any issues, problems or reactions that you're a little bit uncertain of, then obviously let us know as soon as possible. Any reactions that you do get after these kind of treatments tend to go down quite quickly, but it's still good to know about them, because we'll just give you a bit of extra advice to make sure you don't aggravate it and stuff. But
fascinating stuff, right? And the whole process took just over an hour, and it was really relaxing. Now I'm going to have a few other laser treatments in between this and the final shot. You can view those if you follow me on Instagram, and I've got them on my Insta stories, and they're saved at the top. So you can see the different lasers that I have on my skin, because as Debbie mentioned, there's up to about 8 lasers in her clinic. And you can see what I have done and see the progression of my skin. Now, before I had any treatment, I had a really close-up photograph of the condition of my skin. And when Debbie's happy with the finish of the laser treatment, then we will do another one so that you can clearly see the difference and the benefits of having this treatment, because it is a big investment, an investment that's totally worth it for me. And I just think that Debbie has given out really sound advice, because it does depend on each individual person, does depend on their lifestyle. So I think she gives a very, very kind of honest approach to what you think you can achieve and what is possible with the effects of lasering. I hope you have found this insightful, and yeah, I look forward to speaking to you about this probably in about sort of 4 to 5 weeks. We'll post the last film and then you'll see the results, and yeah, fingers crossed. Hope you enjoyed it. See you very soon. Have a lovely day.